What was the profit?
172,000.
I did a withdrawal of 40,000 for Christmas. Fall in love with the progress. Fall in love with the process. Fall in love with being wrong, because the only way to be right is to be wrong enough times that you understand what it takes to be right. Basketball brings a lot of emotions. Partying brings a lot of emotions. Everything brings a lot of emotions. In trading, there must be no emotions involved. If you lose 4 times in a row, are you gonna be mentally strong enough to click that button again? That's what a lot of traders do. They hope to get lucky without understanding that they're trying to get lucky. I swear, these trader influencers that comes up with this amazing, inspiring life story, how they turned $1,000 into $100,000. Maybe they did it, but they got lucky. So I took all those things and I built an edge. I backtested for 700, 800 trades. The way I found my edge is...
Folks, we welcome DovyFx back on the show today. It's been 3 years since he was last on. Now, it's kind of incredible how far people can come in this industry in such a short period of time. In fact, when he was first on, he was kind of unknown. He did our backtest challenge. He absolutely wiped the floor with every other trader there. Now we get him back on to see what he's doing 3 years later. So without further ado, let's first hear my Blue Guardian update and then get on with it. All right, folks, before we get into the show, I want to give you a quick update on my Blue Guardian challenge. So 23 trades in is where we started the week. I had some moderate sort of growth here, then some dips. We actually dipped down below the initial starting balance for the week, and then by the end of the week I managed to pull back a few trades here. We did end the week positive. It was minus 2.4, up from minus 2.5. If you folks do want to take your own Blue Guardian challenge, there's a link in the description. Go and click it now, grab the coupon code TradingNut, all one word, and you're going to get 10% off at checkout. All right, let's get back on with the show. All right, folks, here we are on Trading Out. We've got DovyFx in the house. Now, if he is unfamiliar to you, it means that you probably haven't been watching the show for 3 years or over 3 years, because he was last on the show 3 years ago, episode 153. And he didn't just walk onto the show. He actually passed a full-on trading challenge, beat out maybe 3 other traders to pass this trading challenge. It was a backtesting challenge where we got them to go through replay mode. He killed it. Trendline trading strategy, which everyone thought was like craziness, and he destroyed everyone. So, Dovy, 3 years on, we're going to get your full story. We're going to get your backstory. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be back. And it's crazy. First things first, it's crazy that it's already 3 years that has been passed since the last time I was here, which feels like one day, to be honest. And even to this day, I have people reaching out to me and saying, I came here from Trading Nut challenge. I saw you do the challenge. Even to this day, I get the messages because sometimes when I interact with my followers, I ask them, where did you find me and whatever. And they said, oh, I saw your video on Trading Nut. I saw you win the challenge. It was a very nice. So once again, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Look, and I see you're in Dubai there. Now, look, guys, if you do want to check out this challenge, it is worthwhile checking out, because you do actually get to see Dovy's, I don't know if it's an old trading style, if you still do the same stuff. We'll find out that in today's show. But you do get to get a real good feel for how he approaches things and the thinking around it, and the fact that, like, if I remember rightly, you absolutely annihilated it in terms of all the other traders were miles behind you. And I think we even at that point did like a 10 trade challenge where you had to pick the color of the next bar, and was it going to be a bull or a bear? And I think you got 6 out of 10 correct. This was no analysis whatsoever.
Yes,
I
remember that.
Yeah, so you were second in that as well. The only other person who got more was, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Richard Nasser, who got 9 out of 10. No, it wasn't. Sorry, it wasn't him. I can't remember who it was, but somebody got 9 out of 10. Oh, no, it might have been him. Anyway.
And I think it's one of the first times you've been doing that type of challenge.
Yeah.
And it was no analysis, just pure like sense on the charts, on the markets. And you were like, what is going to be this next candle? It's like just kind of guessing, but 6 in a row was crazy.
Yeah, well, I think we're giving away like $1,000 in crypto if you did get the 10 out of 10. No one actually got it. Anyway, what we're going to do is, find out what you've been doing for the past 3 years. And for the guys that don't know you, maybe give them a bit of a pot of history as to like how you got into trading and your life before trading.
So it's very interesting for those people who don't know me. My story started, like everything started in my life, basically. Everything completely changed when I was 15. and I moved abroad from Europe, from Lithuania to United States to pursue my basketball career. Left my parents, left my family, left my friends, and went all the way to United States to chase my basketball dream. As I was playing high school there, I got a scholarship to go to a pretty good university, full paid scholarship. But eventually, as the time went, as the competition got higher and my body was not as performing as well, I started looking into other ways to make money. So I tried different ways, but I stumbled upon trading. And this was something that really, really sticked with me because of various reasons. Because I am a person, I do not like to be dependent on somebody else. I don't like to be controlled by somebody else in a sense where it's like I have a freedom of choice every day I wake up. I have a freedom of choice if I want to work today or not. I have a freedom of choice where I want to live right now. And I have a freedom of choice of how well I do in my life instead of being dependent on somebody else, you know? And this was something that completed me absolutely. And it took me 2 years as I also was studying and playing basketball in university. It took me 2 years to get consistent results. I would say two years for break-even results, and around 2 years, 4 months to start to see some profits. But I was trading small capital, yes. So I was making profits. Maybe those profits were enough to pay a utility bill. Maybe those profits were enough to go to do grocery shopping. But it wasn't something that I was used to seeing, let's say, on Instagram, right? Because this is what you see. This is how you come to this type of industry. And eventually, as at around the time I got like consistently profitable, their funding companies came out, and I started buying challenges. Yes, I failed a couple as I was learning, but then once I got funded 50K, 100K, even on my Instagram, there's a photo of me with my first 50K challenge past account, first funded account. My account grew. Right now, I have 1.2 million complete funded accounts. And what I say is like to have a good risk management, you need to risk 1 or 2%, right? So now if you come with small capital, you still make profits, but it's maybe not enough to live the life you want. So I use those profits to buy the challenge, and now funding challenges, funded accounts help me to live the life I want while still maintaining a good risk management. That's where everything took off. And if you remember, I think our first call, even when we were doing challenge, I don't remember. I might be wrong, but even then, I think I might have been in a college dorm. I was in a college dorm or something like this.
Yeah, I know you were like definitely. We had a call when you were in Texas and a call when you were in Lithuania. So I knew at one point it was very hard to get you tied down to to do one of these calls because we were flipping between countries. So you may have still been in college.
Yeah, I think that was the time, that was the case. And now 3 years on, I'm in Dubai, living in my own apartment and building the companies, right? So from a trader's perspective, like talking about me as a person, I can now go and chill all day. Like I don't like funding, trading accounts and trading profits make me enough money so I can do nothing. But I am not that type of person that is gonna be sitting down. So like I always talk to my friends or like my followers, and they're like, "Oh, you make this much money from trading. Why don't you chill?" I am 24 years old. I have so much free time. I have so much freedom because of trading. I'm not that kind of person to go and chill at the pool all day. Yes, sometimes I like to take a day off. I like to chill and do nothing. But overall, because of trading and because of the amount of money I can generate, I'm able to build other businesses, to build something, to create something, to give some value to the world and like have some responsibilities. Because I think maybe, yes, you can be this chill lifestyle for a year, but then you eventually get bored from that, you
Yeah, I
know?
think that is it.
So
Exactly.
yeah, so I say to people, it's like if they're like, you have like this much money and stuff, and like, why don't you, why you always say you're busy? Why you always say you're work? Because I choose to, because that's what am I as my personality, you know? So, but I'm super grateful for trading. It changed my life completely. And also trading not only changed my finances, but also changed everything because of the places I got to travel to. And when I traveled to the places, I met a lot of amazing people. I met a lot of amazing people. I created amazing memories with those people. It's such a blessing, and I really wish everyone that really wants to become a trader to really put your mind and put your heart and soul into it and really be smart about it. Because biggest mistakes I would say that traders do is it is okay to make a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes in trading. I'm talking trading specifically. My students make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. But your edge is going to be if you learn from those mistakes and you never do them again. You know, like I can make a mistake. I'm like, okay, I'm never doing it again. But tomorrow I'm doing the same mistake. In trading, this is how you need to operate. Write down your mistake and never do it again. And if you cancel out that mistake, at some point there will be no mistakes left. And that's how you become profitable and consistent, you know?
Yeah, and on that mistake thing, which is quite an interesting point. Like, I mean, sometimes I've been in the case where I've like made a mistake and gone, okay, yeah, I can see I made that mistake. I shouldn't have done that. And the reason I made the mistake was probably because of like impatience or something like that. Or yeah, it was mainly for me. It's usually impatience, right? It's like, well, nothing's happened for 2 days. This looks like a setup. I'm going to take it. Now I might get over that mistake, but then for whatever reason, if I have a break, come back, then that mistake rears its head again sometime in the future. How do you overcome that kind of scenario where it's like a mistake you did in the past, which is kind of hard to avoid? It can sneak up on you. I mean, how do you sort of get around, or did you get around that?
It's the life is not like in the trading is not about canceling all your mistakes. It's impossible. I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. It's about to make as least possible mistakes as you can. You will always make mistakes, you know? So if you cancel out those mistakes, like if you cancel out 8 out of 10 mistakes, you're fine, you know? But you cannot be doing 9 out of 10 mistakes every single day. So that's how you gain that consistency and that profitability, you know?
And so how many mistakes would you say you do on a typical month? Like if you had to sort of categorize them, like, and I suppose maybe the last month, and then, let's say 2 years ago when we hadn't heard your story, like how many mistakes would you make in, say, a typical month? Has it changed dramatically?
Uh, I don't know if I can come up with a number, but I would say my biggest mistake is that as I was beginning trading, I did not come to the charts to trading with a structured, complete system. I would sit down on the charts. I would draw some lines. Oh, maybe it's a sell. Boom. Like that's what a lot of traders do. They hope to get lucky without understanding that they're trying to get lucky because they're not approaching trading like business. So what I was doing, I would come to the charts, I would draw some lines, draw some support and resistances. Oh, I'll sell here. Oh, I'll buy here. Hopefully that somehow adds up and makes me profitable. How you're supposed to do it is you have to build a system with an edge. How you do it? By backtesting, by trading demo accounts. So what is the system? What is my entry? What is my exit? What time frame do I look for this? What time do I look for that? Do I look for supply levels on 4 hour or 2 hour time frames? Do I build bias on? So basically, list of boxes that you need to check before you take every trade. And that takes a lot of stress from your trading because now I come to the charts, I have a list, check, 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 check. All the boxes are checked. I take the trade. At least one box is not checked. I stay out of the markets. That's it. I leave my computer. I come to that is why my hit rate is so high because I only take the trades that is following my trading plan. Also, it helps you mentally, because when you hit a losing streak, you know that you have a system with an edge, and only thing you need to worry about it that you follow that system, right? So you have no system, no plan. You hope, there's a hope that suddenly you'll stop, right? But now, okay, I'll give you an example. Casinos. I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Casinos. Gambler comes into casino, he hopes he's gonna win. He bets even though odds are against him. So for example, his odds are 45% of winning. Casinos have 55% of winning. So let's say gambler comes in casino, plays roulette, and he wins. Okay. Maybe he comes into the casino for 1 week and he wins. But has ever casino changed its games or rules? Never.
Never. Yeah.
They are completely confident in their game. Why? Because they know they have a mathematical edge in their game. So even though they lost for 1 day, for 1 week, or even 1 month, they don't change the rules, they don't change the games, because mathematically, overall, taking a big picture, they will win. So now 95% of traders are gamblers and 5% are casinos. Those traders that has an edge with a system and a plan, they become confident because they understand what they're doing, and that's how they're profitable in the long run. This is how you need to treat trading. I swear, these trader influencers that comes up with this amazing, inspiring life story, how they turned $1,000 into $100,000. Maybe they did it, but they got lucky. These type of people would work on Wall Street and work for hedge funds, if they were actually doing these things. Trading is about understanding edge and following your risk management. Making 20,000% is not a consistent trading. It's somebody got lucky and made a big story out of it. Now buy my course,
Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at BLACKBULL Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at BLACKBULL Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. That's right, get either the Essential, Plus or Premium plans absolutely free, and all you need to do is trade from 1 lot a month at BLACKBULL Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. Now talking about edge, I want to sort of dive into that a bit, because I think that's quite an important thing for people to get, and then do that casino style trading approach, right? So what would, because I've had people come on the show, I've tested systems that have been shown on the show that are very mechanical, and then seen that over that period of time that person traded it was awesome, and then it fell off a cliff before that, or it was break even before that, and it had fell off a cliff after that time. I mean, yes. How does somebody get an edge where they're confident enough that this edge is going to stay true for the long term? And if you do suffer that drawdown or that losing streak, there's you're not going to be sitting in the break even, never making any money or any profit on that for 3 years or whatever it is before the whole thing falls apart. So I mean, what's your sort of view on finding something that has a really strong, let's call it a robust edge?
Okay, so that's a very good question, Cam. The way I found my edge is basically, first, I learned trading. I learned basics about trading. Secondly, I learned different approaches to trading: scalping, intraday, swing trading. I chose what is best for me. Then I learned a couple of strategies: trend lines, support and resistance, supply and demand, fair value gaps, all the different strategies, right? So now I have all this information. I have a bubble of information. What I do is I sit down, because once again, trading is not easy, especially when you come to trading without any guidance. Guidance will help you a lot, but no guidance, that's my story. That's how I did it. So I have all this bubble of information. What I did, I sat down at my computer every single day for 2 years, and I took everything I know. Okay, let me try this, backtest 100 trades. Oh, okay, let me try this, backtest 100 trades. Okay, what worked the best from this And what worked for the best from this? Let's connect this. Now backtest this. Now take this. Now take this. So you take all these things, right? Which requires a lot of time. This is why I created a mentorship now, which I'm gonna be releasing soon. So people like they skip all those steps. They already presented with a how to approach and system with an edge, right? So I took all those things and I built an edge. And now I have this system with an edge that I think it's an edge. I back tested for 700, 800 trades,
Jeez.
which is period of like a long time, right? So now I have this. Okay, let me take this to real life markets. So I opened a demo account and now I'm actually testing this on a real account. So I backtest this for 100 trades. So like, and I have it all on the paper. I have it all connected. And I see that this is working. This is working. This worked for 700 trades. This worked for 100 trades or 200 trades on the real market. What else can I ask? This is, I have a system right in front of me that works. What is the only thing that I need to do? Follow the system. Not get into my emotions, not get into when I'm in the losing streak, 4 or 5 trades, not start thinking like, oh, maybe my strategy is not working anymore. This is a weak spot in every person's mind. Maybe it's not working. Is that hope? Or like, if you win 5 trades in a row, oh, maybe I should up my risk in the next trade. You need to be linear. When you're following your trading system, you need to be linear you're mentally, right? So that's all you need to do.
Now, I've got a couple of questions on that because it's something that I've struggled with over the years, like in terms of back testing a system. I mean, I as you know, I could build trading algos and turn a strategy into a system. Now, some of them have more discretion than others, where it's just not that easy to build it, and you're better off just manually testing it. Now, what I know is that I can meet a trader, and I've done this before. Traders give me a strategy and said, like, look at the strategy, 30 trades, here we go, bang, bang, bang. You know, it's 90% win rate, and he's showing me every setup. I'm like, yeah, okay, automate it, and then it's a 45% win rate. And it's like, we go back and check every single trade. And then it's like, why didn't you take that one? The robot took it. And he's like, oh, well, I didn't take that one because of X, Y, Z. And there was always a reason. And it's like, well, hang on a sec. What is the rules are built into the robot. So therefore, the robot is taking the exact rules. It's not cheating. Whereas it sounds, it's kind of like you're almost cheating, or what you see makes sense. It looks right, but in fact, it doesn't match that rule because of this minute little thing. Now, the question to you is, how did you avoid that kind of like manual, even mistake in your back testing, especially over like 700 trades, 100 trades, you know, all those trades to sort of validate that? Well, 2 things. One was you weren't cheating, and 2, you didn't change, I suppose, rules during the time, and just by making a mistake, i.e., I forgot that rule on that one, and I took it as a win.
First of all, my trading system is not 90%. Second of all, if anybody says that their trading system is 90%, run. This is my advice to you. This is my advice to you guys. I'm being real. Like, I don't care what anybody says about me. I'm here to be real, and I'm here to tell you truth about trading, right? I can show you anything you want just to sell you something, but then I would never be able to handle the bad feedback from people. I love good feedback from people, where people come to me like, oh, thank you for explaining me this. Now I understand because you were true. Like, I never say trading is easy. Trading, especially in the beginning, it's hard, especially without no guidance, right? It's hard. But eventually, once, like, I've been in this 7 years, everything is so automatic to me now. Like, everything is just like, it's like I see the charts and it takes me 5 minutes to see if I'm going to have a trade or no. It's like, imagine 7 years. How much is that? 7 years. 7 times 365. 2,555 days. Like, I probably 95% of those days I've been on the charts. It's insane. So how do you avoid the mistakes in your trading system? You don't. You just, like I said before, you try to minimize them. You will never avoid all of the mistakes. Also, as I was trading before the war started, Russia, Ukraine. This is where I ran into my first problem, where it was like, okay, my trading system is still working, but definitely not as good as it was. Because now markets are way more affected from the fundamental perspective. So a couple of things I did. I paid more attention to fundamentals. So if there's any important meetings, any important announcement, any important news coming out, I don't trade day prior and day of the meeting or the event. Also, I lowered my risk almost twice. So every time there's a big economic event or like even a war starting, there's gonna be a lot of volume in the markets. For example, what happened? US 30 fell. So there are two types of assets in the whole financial markets: risk on and risk off. Risk on is when the economy is doing good, when everyone's happy, when everybody has a lot of money. This is where people put money in stocks, in crypto, trying to get rich. And eventually also we have risk off assets such as gold and dollar, right? So if economy is doing good, all the money from gold and dollar is going into US 30 and crypto and high risk assets, which bring a lot of returns. Every time there's a shake in the economy, war, high interest rates, because there is no like money falling from the sky. The money either goes here or here. So now the war started and everything. You saw a gold rise, you saw dollar rise because from crypto, from US 30, all the money went to risk off assets, right? So you need to understand that. So it took me a while to adapt. I didn't change a lot. I just adapt. Maybe I use a little bit more less risk. I pay more attention to news, but it is life as a trader. Like, once again, nothing is perfect. Nothing is going to work completely the same. I bet that in 5 years, I will also make tweaks to my current trading system. I will not change it. I will never change my trading system because I love it. It's completely amazing. You know, it's perfect. It's very simple. And also, like, I want to repeat once again, I'm doing a mentorship where I will be teaching all these people to have this system and have this edge, because I'm so tired of this type of market, this unprofessional approach to the market, trying to sell the dream, right? I want to give real value to all the people. So this is how you're supposed to trade, you know?
Okay, yeah, so basically you're saying sort of mistakes are going to happen in your trading and going to happen in your back test. So hence 100 is probably a good number. Now, what about like just so that people know, how long is it going to take you to do 100 trades in a back test? I know we did 5 in the call, which you're probably doing it for like maybe, I'm guessing 30, 45 minutes. It was a while ago now, so I can't quite remember, but it was kind of like 45 minutes to do 5 trades, maybe 30. How long would it take you to do 100 in one of your back tests?
It's 100. I don't know. You have to multiply it, you know, even in today's trading, in real life trading, some weeks I have 7 trades in a week. Some weeks I have 1 or 0 trades. It all depends on market conditions. So the same way when you're backtesting, you know, sometimes, so one day I'll be able to backtest 35 trades. One day I'll be able to backtest 50 trades. One day I'll be able to backtest 12 good trades, you know. But the thing is, when I was backtesting, I was still making adjustments to my trading system. So I would have to go back and do it again, back and do it again. To try other pair, try other asset. I swear on my life, I would close my eyes before I went to sleep, and I literally saw the lines like this, like as my eyes are closed. You know, when you close your eyes, you squint your eyes, you see something. I literally saw lines. Like I was I was one with the markets, you know.
Yeah. So because so in terms of that the fact that, you know, make a change, see something, make a change, go back, which I do as well. I'll see something and go, oh, hang on a sec. And then I'm like, oh, damn it, I've got to start this whole back test again. And it's so painful, just the thought of that. Anyway, I mean, one thing I was doing was sort of looking at multiple, for example, let's say exit points. Was I going to just take a fixed exit, or was I going to take an exit at a certain thing like a high or a low or something like that, just to see how much R I would have made on that trade? I mean, when you were doing your back tests and tweaking and stuff, I mean, how were you doing exits? Because I think exits is quite a big thing. Great to find the entry, yep. But how do you get out of that trade on a consistent basis? Exiting the trade, taking profit. Where do you get out?
Oh, exits. Yeah. I would follow the trading view. You know, I would have the percentage, because when you do the the stop loss or take profit, you see the risk to reward. So I would always like try different amounts of dollars. So basically, if I risk $1,000 and I have 1 to 2 years to reward, I see that I made $3,000 and I write it all down. You know, if I make 2.3 risk to reward, I made $2,300. You know, and I would be writing everything down. If you go to my old office,
so can I just stop you? Can I just stop you on that one first before you jump in? So you'd write it down. You made 2.3. Now, is that because price went that far before it came back and would have stopped you out, or was it because you had a fixed area that you wanted to get out at versus a fixed TP?
That's a very good question. So I would never be that guy where it's like it would go down to 2.3, go to break even, and I would count it as a win. No, if I say I close here, I close here. You know, if it went back to break even, it means it's a break even trade. I never lied to myself, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, right. So I'm kind of I'm trying to work out, did you have a fixed target? I'm going for that level there, or that price there, or that R level there. And
so
what was that? Was that how you did it?
The way I trade is I have a like one target, for example, 1 to 3, but I have zones along the way as the price is going towards target. So the way I take profits is as the price is going into profit, for example, it's a sell position, it approaches one of my key levels, right? One of my points in profit. And I see how the price reacts to that level. If the price smashes through that level, I continue holding. But if I start to see rejection, I close partial, right? It goes to a lower level, it breaks through it, I keep holding it. So that's how I take partials and I hold profits. For example, I never done this before, but I started 1 week ago with 5 people, like one-on-one mentorship. Just 5 people, focus group. It's me and 5 people. Some of them are completely new, and some of them are 1 year into trading, right? So recently we had our first call, and it was about key levels. And this is what we use key levels from. Key levels is something I'll show you later on the charts. It's something where you have a strong reaction in the markets, and it helps you for 2 things. We use key levels for 2 things: to either decide where we don't enter the trade, or to decide where we take partials. So this is how I manage my trade along the way.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Right. So you've got all that data in the back test, and you're just utilizing that. Awesome. So your 700 trades, back tested trades before you actually sort of locked in the system. I mean, A, why did you decide on 700 or 800, whatever it was? B, why didn't you top yourself before you got to the end of it? Because it seems like an awful task to try and go through.
Cam, to be honest, people look at it as that way, but the way I was looking at it, there is people that is working crazy jobs all over the world, and they make minimal wage. They make little amount of money. And I was telling myself, me sitting at computer in this warm room, this warm, comfy room, is this hard? Yes, I will invest a lot of time, a lot of focus, a lot of energy, but there's people that is doing way harder job for way less money. And I put that work, I put that amount of time, and now I'm here. Like, I'm proud to say that I'm 24 years old, and I'm currently living the dream of the life of my dreams, you know, in a sense, because I took that step. I took my time off that day, which was probably the whole day, and I focused. I really, really focused on this one thing, and my plan B was my plan A. There was no plan B.
Mm.
It was this or nothing. And this was my mindset, because thankfully to basketball, it teach me a lot of discipline and how to focus and how to learn from your mistakes, because there's no other way to achieve your goals, right? Other way you just stand in one place. And now I'm here. It's like, yes, at that point it was hard. It was depressing. It was uh, exhausting. But now when I look back at it, it was like, it's also had some beauty in it, you know? It's just like me waking up at 5 a.m., making my own coffee, opening my computer. Like, also, one very interesting thing I was discussing with my focus mentorship group, I was saying that you get good in trading once you get a little bit tired from it, you know.
Like sort of bored or kind of, you know, is that what you mean? Like tired is.
Let me explain what I mean. When I just started trading for the first 2 years, when I like did all the back testing, I could not wait to wake up and get on these charts. I could not wait. That was a good thing to learn. But when I tried to transfer the same energy to real-time trading, it caused me to a lot of over trading, over risking, unrealistic wishes and results, where as the time went, I got a little bit bored. It's like, I don't want to spend as much time on the charts. So I got a little bit more patient. I only took A++ setups. I didn't focus on opening as many trades as possible. So I think there's this edge, you know, when you're learning, it's good to work hard, good to put a lot of energy. But once you get used to it, you understand you understand your edge. This is where you need to kind of get your foot off the gas pedal, you know? And it became so chill to me. Trading, like people say, trading is stressful. Yeah, when you don't know what you're doing. When you know what you're doing, it's like, I came here to do my thing. There's a setup, I take it. There's no setup, I go on with my day. I opened this, it's Wednesday? It's Thursday. I opened one trade this week. I made
Yeah.
how much I made? $8,000 or $9,000 this week. Like,
You're done. Yeah. It's funny you say that. I mean, actually, it's a great way, or even a mindset hack to think. You know, there are people out there working. You know, let's put them in front of a counter at McDonald's, for example, and they're there for an 8-hour shift or whatever it is,
exactly.
and you get to sit in your own room, go for a wander if you want, come back, sit down, at the charts again, do your stuff. Okay, you may not be getting paid for it, but what are you losing in a day? Maybe minimum wage. So it's a great way to put it in perspective for people. And I'm wondering, was there anything for your basketball days? Because I know you're like a Division I basketball player in the States that that sort of you used in the basketball arena to get your mind in the right shape for a game, which may or may not be relevant to trading. I don't know. I'm just interested.
Yes, it has some similarities because that adrenaline rush. I mean, when you're playing a game, it's more extended. The adrenaline is like you're focused for 1.5 hours, like 100%. When you're trading, you get the adrenaline rush when you slightly, not anymore, 7 years, when you click that button, when you see that drawdown or the profit, you know, when you get, but I think that's what separates trading from everything, a lot of things in the world, because for example, basketball brings a lot of emotions. Partying brings a lot of emotions. Everything brings a lot of emotions. In trading, there must be no emotions involved, even if you're losing or if you're winning, you know? Just like I said, once again, and I'm saying this to everybody, there are some people that use this knowledge and now is very successful people. Yesterday, I got a message from a guy. He bought a car from using my system, what I taught him, you know. It's like, but also a lot of people is like, oh, okay, but they never use it to their advantage, you know. But that's how life works, you know. But
Yeah. It's interesting what you were saying before, like, because I think if I was trying to think of an analogy of, you know, this whole getting tired of trading or getting tired so that you're actually become a better trader or a good trader. And I think for me, it was like you order something on, let's say you order something off Amazon, something you wanted, you're like, oh, great, this thing that you wait for it turns up, it gets here, and then you like, for me, I'm just thinking about this ice bath that I bought, portable ice bath, bought it, chucked it outside. I was in it every day for about 2 weeks. Then I think I got a cold, ironically. And then I put it in the fridge because it was getting mold. Sorry, I put it in the shed because it was getting moldy, and I haven't touched it for like 6 months. So it's kind of that. And that is where it's like, okay, well, I could get it out if I want. I'm not like stressed. I'm not emotional about it at all. And I think that was kind of where you're getting to. Right. So let's talk a little bit about your system now. Like, you talked about the fact you had the fundamental change with, you know, these major events going on that potentially changed the market. I mean, is there anything else that you sort of tweaked with it that you would call yourself, like, you know, I suppose the A+ setup kind of thing that you can share?
I paid my attention to fundamentals. Like I said, staying away from high risk events, lowered my risk, and just was way more attention to detail. That's basically the only thing. There's nothing specifically that I changed in my technical analysis. It was more of my risk management and fundamental analysis, you know.
Okay.
Fundamental analysis, I do read that, I do pay attention to that, but it doesn't affect me as much, because if there is high risk news, I just stay away from the markets. I'm not macroeconomist. I'm not a analytic of like economy. I feel like you need to be that to understand fundamentals. Just reading that CPI or NFP like was higher or lower, I don't think it doesn't give you a lot of information, because whenever that data is released, the move is already has been done. You know, it's already been done, because there's very smart people that is sitting over there and they're doing their own analysis and they already made the decision. You know, all these retail traders, especially all around the world, you know, in regards to social media, they think, oh, there's a higher, you know, probability of this, and then they get completely wrecked. Because like, you need to use common sense. There's a lot of smart people that is in tall buildings with a lot of money. And they read it before. So my advice to you is let them do their thing and then step in the markets when everything calms down.
I was going to say, so like, you know, you obviously got 1.2 million in prop firm funding. I mean, have you sort of at some stage thought, well, look, I want to shift out of that game, from, i.e., you know, just trading on prop firms, and, you know, take some of the earnings that you're making and put it into personal accounts to trade personal, to de-risk?
That's exactly what I'm doing, Cam. That's exactly
right. Okay.
Yes. So I withdraw my profits from the funding firms. I put it in my personal trading accounts. I put it in real estate. I reinvest all the money. Like I said, I can go and like just travel and do nothing. But right now, I feel like this is the point of my life that I want to continue building something. And eventually, when I have wife and kids, we can live that more calm life. Now I'm young. I have a lot of energy, and I just continue pushing, because that's what makes me happy. You know, achieving a goal. Like I was talking to my friend is a psychologist, you know, and she understands also a little bit about trading. And she asked me like, what makes you happy? And I really thought to myself, I never had an answer. And I didn't have an answer to her. Like, I was like, okay, I can give her like answer where it's like when I'm with my friends, but it's not that deep, you know? And I thought about it for like 2 days. And I understood that at this part of my life, I think in 5 years, maybe it'd be different. And in 20 years, it's going to be different. But in this point of my life, what makes me the happiest is achieving a goal that I have set right now. So if I have a goal, for example, opening a prop firm, I achieved that. I had a crazy amount of happiness in myself, in me. And so now all my kind of happiness is career focused. Maybe in 10 years, it's going to be more based on family. If my kids are doing good in school, my kids are doing good in sports. But currently, this is my drive, and this is what makes me happy. And once again, thanks to trading.
Well, I think it's probably a challenge out there to everyone watching. If you've watched this far into the interview, hit us up in the comments. Let us know what makes you happiest. Maybe it's going to take you a couple of days to think about it, because I'd be really interested to hear what makes other people happy. I'm just thinking about it myself now. What is it that makes me happiest? Which is kind of like very hard to pinpoint. So that's a great little analogy there. Well, sorry, not analogy, a little test for everyone out there to go away and do. So, Dovi, now talking about prop firms and that journey to 1.2, like, did you lose a challenge or two or more than two during the process, or was it sort of a straight through, bang, here we go?
Yeah, like I said, I lost a couple of challenges. My first funded account was 50K. Actually, recently I got funded for another 200K. That's what put me to 1.2. It's 11th. So what is the month before December? In November?
November, yeah.
So it's started with 200K. I don't know if you're able to see it.
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah.
So you scroll through that.
From November. Wow, there's a lot of blues in there. And I just move it up the top. Move it up. So it's at the top now. Just move the phone up a little bit. So what's the total?
Oh, I wasn't scrolling. So this
okay,
the bottom.
Yeah, 171,000. Is it?
So that's not too many trades. So now I had, what was the profit?
172,000.
And I did the withdrawal of 40,000 for Christmas. For Christmas presents for my family.
Wow, that's some crazy. See, the thing is, that's some big numbers there, right? Over two months, two to 3 months. So that's some big numbers.
I got this funded account, and I said to myself, this is going to be a high risk account. So now I have allocated accounts, like different accounts. And one is more swing trading, one is more scalping. So this is my scalping account, where it's like I see a setup, A++ setup. Since I have other accounts, I can be a little bit more risky, So I may risk like 4%. So I made the first trade was $14,000 and went on from there,
So hang on a sec. So you're risking 4% per trade on that $200,000 account, where you've got like
4 or 5.
What's the maximum daily drawdown on that? Because usually
daily 5. Daily 5%. Yeah.
5. So really, you're saying, okay, I got the 200,000. If I blow it, I blow it. Like if I get 2 losses in a row, I'm done.
This account was like, I don't care. But this is not a one trade. This is not one week. This is almost 3 months.
Yeah. So was there any point in time? So did you drop the risk from 4% when you started getting, decent return on that?
I did the withdrawal. I have other accounts where it's like my income, Yeah. This is more like
bit of a fun,
if I make money, I'll buy my mother something nice,
But so I've got a couple of questions there. So that one there, so the first trade was 4%. Has every trade been 4% risk, or have you dropped the risk on some trades?
No, I changed it. It was like anywhere between 1 to 4.5.
Okay, cool. And what time frame were you entering in on? Just so I can picture it.
So I do top-down analysis, but I do it once a week, and then I wait. I set alerts and I wait. I start with the weekly time frame, but on the weekly time frame, I don't look at price action. I look at the previous weekly candle. So I use daily and weekly time frames to determine my bias. So if I see that the weekly candles is very bullish, if I drop down to daily time frames, I see that the price is doing higher highs and high lows. That means I'm looking for long positions. That's not complete. It's at all not smart for me to look for shorts. When this previously weekly candle was very bullish, it is way higher chance that the next weekly candle is going to be bullish as well, rather than drop right away from this bullish, right? So I built my bias. So if it's bullish, I'm saying I'm only looking for long positions. So now I drop to 4 and 2 hour timeframes to look for my supply and demand levels, where I want for the price to come and collect the liquidity for potential entry. Then I drop to 30-minute timeframes to look for my entries. 30 and 15-minute timeframes, I look for reversal patterns. Of course, along the way, I use volume. I really love volume profile, and I use Fibonacci for extra confirmation. But it's all simple and basic. All the people that have been following me knows that very, very important part, consistent analysis equals consistent results. If one day you're drawing trend lines, the next day you're drawing levels, next day you're looking at Fibonacci, it's not consistent analysis, and this will never bring you consistent results. Consistent analysis equals consistent results. So if you look at all my videos, you'll see that I analyze my charts the same way every single day.
Awesome. Now, what about like managing all those different prop accounts? Are you using some kind of copy trade service, or are you placing some trades on one? Obviously, that one there is a bit of a fun account, but have you got like them in buckets, or how are you managing that sort of large portfolio?
So it's distributed between 3 funding companies. And the way I manage it is when I analyze the markets, I don't worry about the funded accounts when I analyze. I'm like, analyzing this, okay, this follows my swing trading account. I take notes, AUD, NZD, for example, swing account, take a look, blah, blah, blah. I do my analysis, I have a list, and then when one of those confirms, so I say swing, intraday, scalp, 3 different accounts, let's say, right? So I analyze the charts and I'm like, okay, GBP USD, I have a pretty good setup, A+ setup. I'm still waiting for this on an intraday account. I write it down. And that's how I follow. I like just writing things down because it keeps clear in my head. Then if you keep it in your head, it's like it gets messed up. But when I analyze, I assign the pair or US30 or gold or any asset to a account.
A prop firm account, or just a virtual swing trading account?
A prop firm account.
Okay, right. So you've got a prop firm account for swing, intraday, and scalp.
Yes.
Yes. Right. That's how you split it up. So you're essentially going to take that trade on an intraday prop firm account, or the account you're using for intraday trades.
Yes. So I have prop firm accounts, different prop firm accounts for different styles of trading. Same system, but scalping is more quick and higher risk. Swing is slower, where it's like 2 trades a month, but it's way lower risk. It's more like, that's where I have my biggest allocation of money. Swing trading is the biggest allocation of money. Intraday is smaller allocation of money. Scalp trading is 200K.
Well, cool. Okay, that's and I think that's probably the first time I've heard that approach with multiple funding firms. I mean, what if you, like, say, for example, added another chunk of funding on there? Obviously, you're going to have your own firm soon, so maybe you don't need to. But
I do have co-funded guys. Check it out.
So if you did, I mean, what would you do with the what would you do with a fourth firm? Would you just sort of double up on the swings, or double up on intraday, or something like that? What would you do?
I just added to my swing accounts. Like, for example, every time I get a funded account, it goes to my swing, and then I allocate the funds. But my core is my swing accounts.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, because when you have a nice capital, I don't want to, and I don't need to look at the charts or like open the trades every day or every hour. It's like, I prefer to have a higher win rate, and I prefer to take A++ setups and don't have as much headache, as I remember I used to open 10, 20 trades in a day. Right now, thinking about it, it's insane,
So what about, like, what does your typical trading, I suppose, week look like now? Like an average week for you, if you're going to be actively trading and, spending more time trading than anything else?
Yeah, that's one of the first things I do in the morning. I look at the charts. I spend around an hour. I spend another hour talking to my students. I go have lunch. Of course, prior to that, I have breakfast and workout. But I like spending time on my computer. I do not. I prefer that. I also work on my business throughout the day. But for trading, I look at the charts every day. But I do not monitor. I only monitor the charts when I have open trade, right? So if it's a swing, maybe I'm not as close to it, but scalp intraday, I am monitoring it when I close partials and so on, what risk adjustments I make. But the way I analyze, I need the price to go to that zone. I set alert and I leave it alone, because a lot of times the mistake I've been doing before as well is, if I wait and I look at a candle slowly move up to my zone, in my head, and I believe in a lot of people's head, you start making up excuses to enter this trade early. Excuses
Yeah.
why this trade is not gonna go all the way up to the zone, right? And I did a lot of mistakes like that, you know. So eventually, I decided that I'm gonna set alert and I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna leave it alone, and
Yeah.
that's what works the best right now. It's like stress free. Analyze your charts. You go on with your day. You do other things. Boom, alert goes off. You get on your charts. Oh, okay, now I can monitor this trade, wait for my entry. And you save a lot of time as well.
Now, you've been doing this for, 3 years on from when we first met and had you on the show. Now, I suppose you've got some mindset kind of hacks that you may have come up with that you're teaching your students who are going through this mentorship and stuff. I mean, can you share anything with us, which is kind of a unique way for somebody to try and get themselves into a trader's mindset, or the mindset you've got now as a 7-year trader?
Okay, so I don't know if it's going to be myself repeating, but to be a successful trader, to get rich or to make quickly money, you can put 10 lots and maybe you'll make a lot of money, you know. But if you want to make it as your job, make it as your main source of income, you need to understand that having a right risk management is crucially important. Now, what I teach is you need to have an edge so you can follow your trading system and have a good risk management. But you come into a first wall. If you have $1,000 or $2,000 to trade with, you will not be, you will be, you can be consistently successful, but it's not what's going to make you a lot of money. It's probably going to help you pay some bills. If you want to live a nice life and completely off just trading, you need to acquire bigger capital. And that is why in my mentorship program and my students, we really focus on, first of all, understanding what trading is and building the edge. And second of all, how to get funded. But getting funded is just one step. Maintaining funded account is the second. Because myself and a lot of other stories I heard, people get funded and then they blow the account. So I teach not just to how get funded, but also how to maintain a funded account, right? So if you build your edge and you acquire big capital, that's all you need. It's a stress-free trading, you know? If I could come up with something unique, just fall in love with the progress, fall in love with the process, fall in love with being wrong, because the only way to be right is to be wrong enough times that you understand what it takes to be right, you know? So I think I said this in our previous podcast. I loved being wrong. I loved being wrong. I loved making mistakes, because I know that if I stop doing this mistake, eventually I'll be right. And canceling out all those mistakes put my level of it and my experience in trading higher and higher and higher each time, which made me a successful trader. And that's what I'm teaching. I'm not teaching, I'm not selling a dream. I'm giving you tools to be successful in trading over a period of time. And another thing, I can teach you about markets. I can give you A to Z list, but you are the one who's clicking the button.
Mm.
So if you lose 4 times in a row, are you going to be mentally strong enough to click that button again with the same mindset, same approach? Or are you going to start crying about how your system is not working, how this is nothing is working, and you go to another system and you hit the same wall again, and then you lose for 4 trades in a row, and then you're scared to click the button again? It's just going through it and building your mental stability and mental strength, because trading is hard mentally, but trading is easy as a mechanic of it. Like, you just multiply money by clicking a button, right? You don't need to do a hard time job in some oil rig, you know? So man up, become look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I will learn from my mistakes, I will write them down, and I will never repeat them again. And I make improvements. That's how you become successful. That's how I became successful.
That's a lot of gold, and I think what we're going to do is wrap the show up there. I mean, that is probably one of the most unique kind of answers, and really, it's one of the realest answers here. I don't know if there is a hack, because I asked the question: is there a hack, a mindset hack that people can do? And the reality is, what you're kind of saying there at the start. I mean, I think that making the mistake note down thing is quite good, but what you're saying is, you've just got to go through it. You've just got to go through the pain of, until you get the passion. If you don't have the passion, you've got to go through the pain to get the passion, to then see the light at the end of the tunnel. Right. Well, talking about end of tunnel, we're at the end of the show here. Before we wrap up, what's the best way for traders to get hold of you, Dovi?
So on Instagram, Dovi.fx. Maybe you can put it somewhere on the screen, because there's a lot of people creating fake accounts of my Instagram. But Dovi.fx, and also DovyFx on YouTube. I'll be posting more content over there.
Brilliant, folks. And yeah, it is DovyFx. It will be on the screen here, so you'll be able to see that. If you do want to go and check out his prior episode, it's all over there on Trading Nut. Just search for Dovi in the search box. And if you look, I'm just having a look now, underneath the interviews tab, there's challenges. And on that page, and I think it's actually on Dovi's show page there. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, on that page, you'll find his challenges that he did, and where he beat out like 4 or 5 other traders to take top spot in a backtesting challenge as well, if you really want to dive in. But once again, Dovi, thank you for coming on the show. Have a great time over there in Dubai, and everyone else, until next time, I wish all my listeners trading happiness and success. All right, folks, there you have it. Interview done and dusted with Dovi. Now, if you're looking for some charting action this week, then go and check out the Waka Racine Part 2 video, which is dropping on the channel. It's awesome stuff, all verified there on Twitter as well. So he breaks down his trading week. It's another hour of charting content, so you really want to go and check this out to get a full understanding of how he breaks down the chart. Other things going on here at Trading Nut, we have got an awesome little strategy that I'm building out as part of my Robot Lab Live. It's build number 56. You can go and check that out, along with how the other builds are performing in the demo environment over there on Trading Nut. There's a link to that in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you folks in the next episode of Trading Nut.